Right, should we get cracking with the painting then? And Happy New Year, by the way. Let's hope at some point we can all get together in the class at some point. So I've just at the side there, I've done this little colour swatch of how I want the background to look really. So a nice warm grey with some little cooler areas of blue, and then going green, and then the crimson colour for the blossom trees there. And that, I don't know, that might be useful as well. That's little doodles that I do to give me a guide of how I'm going to approach and what colours and how where the focus would be on the painting. So that's a little insight into how I would prepare for a painting like this. So starting with the background, so at the top I'm going to do a nice coloured wash. It's going to be warm grey. So I've made up this big puddle, and I've used ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson and yellow ochre to make that like a warm grey colour. I might just, so with the same brush, there's a little bit of colour on that. Just wet that a bit, just to help it flow. I'm not going to go all the way down just yet, because there's a few little things I want to do that might be a bit interesting. So if I just float that colour on and let it run down. And then I'm just going to put a bit of crimson in there. Just again let that flood. And just pull this down. So I've got a damp brush there. And leaving a little gap around that little tower, that spire or whatever it is there. And then I'm going to grab some more blue into that mix and just see if I can get the impression of a top of a mountain there. And when I get to there, I'm going to leave a gap, so a little sharp dry edge there. That's good. Again, just pull that down. So working on the bottom edge, and then joining again up with that wash there. Bit of blue in there, I think, as well. Looking good so far, that. Lovely. So all the time working on the bottom edge of your wash, unless you put in like a concentrated colour in the wash there. So making sure it doesn't dry out, just pull that down. Good. So we've got a little help there. So we can pause there, pause the wash if you want. And then just drying the brush off. Just grabbing hold of these little puddles. Just soaking that up. Good, and then I can start adding some of the green into that now. So with Hooker's green, I'll start with a bluey green first. So if I put some ultramarine in that and have a look what that looks like. Just letting it touch that wash as well. Bit of yellow ochre in it there. So we're now coming to this like a blossom tree. So I'm going to do like a broken effect. Hard edges there. Maybe that should have been a bit of that cool colour. Bluer, I think. Just put a bit of the blue into that. That's good. Again, a bit of housekeeping, just soaking up these excess puddles, just to stop it running back up, and it might create a cauliflower. It's not, again, not the worst thing in the world, but it's good. And then I'm going to go and get some crimson now, crimson and yellow ochre, I think. Ooh, that's a bit red, isn't it? Look at that. Make that a bit cooler there, because this is going to be quite a warm building, so don't want it to distract too much. And then I'm going back to green, maybe a yellowy green there, I think. Bit stronger. So Lucas green with blue. Mixing that on the paper there, it's a bit granulated. Bit of housekeeping there, just grab that, pull that up. Just trying to judge what colour I want there. And we can have a breather now, just relax and let that settle. Right, so we can carry on now. I've had a little breather after that. I'm going to start to do something on the tower now, the temple. So with a smaller brush and some raw sienna, just really loosely, just put that nice warm golden yellow colour in there. There's not much to that really. And then, so for the roof parts, I'm going to use Windsor Blue. With a tiny bit of burnt sienna in it. Just test that. It's a bit blue, that. So burnt sienna just knocks it back a little bit. So I'll just test it first. So this surface is going to be a bit pale. Imagine light's coming that way. So that surface of the roofs will be a darker blue. So just let that touch that yellow there. And just bring that down. That's good. There we go. And I'll carry on down. So with the burnt sienna and a bit of yellow ochre even, nice golden red colour. Just whack that in there and let it touch that blue, so hopefully you get a little bit of mingling going on there. Let's pull that down. Trying to keep it really loose and leaving the odd bit of white as well. Just imagine there's light catching surfaces and just creating a bit of a highlight with it. So back, just soak that up and go back to the blue again. And a bit green, that. Put some more blue in there. Wetting wet all the way down. The board's tilted, so I don't know if I said that, but it just allows the paint to flow downwards when you're doing your washes. Bit of red in there, I think. So if it's flowing a bit too much, you can just sort of just touch it with your brush and just control the flow of the colour and Just allow it to do what you want it to do. Quite a bit too strong, that. Just touch it a little bit. Just take the colour off. And then there's a little like walkway at the bottom there, so that's going to be a bluer colour. So just going back, I'm just sort of keeping my eye on these little running into each other areas. So this is with the crimson. I'm just adding a few little highlights of really intense colour. And there's like a flight of steps going up to it there. So again, with the Windsor blue, just like that. That's not too bad, that, so far. A funny feeling it might be alright, this. So while that's drying, I'm just going to go into the green, the little shrubs and bushes, and just add another tone. So see if we can give them some sort of 3 dimensions. See if we can shape them a little bit. So that's the hooker's green with a bit of blue in it. And it might also frame the building as well if we do that. Bit darker. Oh, there's a big hair in that. So I'll make a dark now with ultramarine and burnt sienna. Just add some to that. So what that'll do is it'll just frame the lighter colours, so that dark will just show the others off a little, the other colours off a little bit. I don't want to get too busy there. And then just looking at these little puddles, so just housekeeping there, just soak it up with your dry brush. And then the blossoms, so what did we do? We did crimson and yellow ochre. So a little side stroke just to try and replicate little leaves and blossoms. That's busy enough there actually now, that's fine that. Leave it now, Tony, leave that. And just, if I use the ultramarine, I just had to clean the palette out there, and I just wanted to make a space so that I can make a cooler colour for this side of the building there, and that's ultramarine with a bit of crimson in it. So it looks very dark when you first put it on. And it'll just help model the different surfaces. Just take a little bit off of that. go back up there because I don't want it too dark. I want the light still showing underneath there. Just take a little bit of colour off. Even though it's a shadow, you still want the effect of lighting. Oh, that's dry, that. It's going on like gouache. So just assessing now, because obviously I don't want to do too much, as we always say. I think that's enough now, actually. I think it'll serve the purpose, and it's a nice light feel to it. And I hope you can have a bit of fun with that. It's been really pleasurable, that. So I'll let you get on with that, and let me know how you get on.